filling generator already.
Taped up, that's right, and it's up to the others,
No, it's can do that. It's not a massive dead man, eh? But once that goes into the sand and sucks in. Here goes a harbour diver. And what he's doing is he's going down that line to release the mooring buoy. Just moving the moorings. Completely different sort of diving to what we do. That's surface supply, so all his air and his comms and his possibly his hot water, his lights, everything's done from the surface. You just used from your manipulation and dexterity. Welcome back to Bailiwick and Guernsey Shipwrecks, and it's Saturday and we're going out scalloping.
Here we go for another adventure.
Yeah, where are we going to go?
I don't know, but you know, it's the end of July, it could be the last day of summer. Skipper's got his woolly hat and his Guernsey on and his thermal socks. It ain't looking good.
Down at Fermain, getting ready to go. Scalloping time.
27 foot of the reef.
Oh, no splash whatsoever then.
Yeah.
That was good technique, that. No. Get a load of fish swarming now. So I've decided to come back and further explore this cave that me and Phil seen a couple of weeks ago. It's very dark at 34 metres. Definitely going to need the lights turned on. I don't think it's very deep. Eyes a male and a female trying to get a bit of privacy there. So just as I thought, it's probably about 10 feet deep and silted up at the back. A couple of little fish living in there, but nothing really that interesting to look at, but I thought I'd come back and have a check anyway. This is what we call a shanker, but people from the UK or further afield will probably know it as a brown edible crab. There's some nice big scallops at the bottom of this reef, but I can't stay too long because this is my first dive and I want to try and keep my nitrogen loading low. So I'm going to start swimming around the reef and head back up. Just to the left of this reef is a very steep sand bank, which I'm going to start to crawl my way up. To the top of that bit of reef there, that's 10 metres. It looks quite high for 10 metres. Here's another smaller shanker hidden in the silt. It's probably just molted, that's what I was trying to hide. So this is just coming up to the slope now, and there's a very large old ship's anchor laying here. You can see that's the shaft, and this is the flukes, but on one side it's missing. This isn't your typical anchorage, so I'm guessing this boat dropped its anchor in a storm to try and prevent it from going ashore. Probably on a leeward shore or something like that. You can see here there's no chain on the end of this. This is like a D shackle on the end. So I think it ended up pulling off. This is that silty slope that I'm climbing up now. Looking at it on camera, it never gives a true representation of it, but it is pretty steep. There's a couple of ballan wrasse, and the fish to your right is a pollock. No great size, probably 3-4 pound. I'm just going to try and get to the edge of the reef above the cave, just have a little look over, see if you can see the bottom. Kinda knew you couldn't, but thought I'd have a little look anyway. It's good to see the spider crabs are still in, but they'll disappear soon after they've breeded. Look at this lovely pink fan. I like this pink fan coral. This one must be pretty old because it's quite big. this reef sort of comes up in tiers, so you'd come up and then there'd be a very sandy patch, and then the reef would rise again another 6-7 meters and there'd be another sandy patch. So we got sort of strips of sand, almost like a really odd shaped staircase. As you get shallower, there seems to be a lot more life on it, a lot more growth. This is on the northern side of the reef, so it seems to be more life on the northern side, the north and east side, than the south side. Here's one of my least favourite crabs, the velvet swimming crab, or the lady crab. I love the colour of these ballan wrasse, they're definitely my favourite. This one's a bit of a beast, it's like 5-6 pounder, this one. I think this could be more lost fishing gear, but without swimming either end of the rope and seeing a float going to the surface, so you don't know for sure. It certainly looks like it hasn't been pulled for a while. It's full of Ross coral, but unfortunately there's a couple of spider crab inside, so as I don't know if this is a dead pot as it were, or someone's gear that hasn't been pulled for a while, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the weed off of it and I'll tip it on its side. So if it is someone's that hasn't pulled it yet, I'm sorry, but if it's lost, at least it grabs and get back out. I think it has been lost. It's in a very poor state. So what you see here is the divers are sorting out their catch and they're chucking the smalls back. And the reason we chuck the smalls back in where you found them is to maintain that there's a good healthy stock spread out. If there's any localised pollution that ends up killing a load off, or something happens, at least there's a broad area where there's a nice even amount of scallops. I just love how they go through the water.
Once more into the deep, dear friends. It's a far, far better thing I do today than I have done yesterday.
Into the underworld we go. That land far, far away. As bad as the compass.
He's tasted the amber nectar now. He wants the actual scallop. How many do you reckon? 80, 90, 100?
80 odd. Not very good.
Not very good.
The tide was going the wrong way.
going north. That coiling, yeah. It's a decent bag.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, what's that? Some with slipper limpets on. Never used to see slipper limpets, and all of a sudden the last sort of 10-11 years a load more turned up. There's just like limpets on the back of limpets. There's actually two there. There's two there. It's babies. Close to 90.
98.
98.
98.
I can tell that was close to 90 because that's a full crate.
Yeah.
So another dive looking for scallops. This time I've dropped in with Phil and Jen. Yeah, again there's more fishing gear. This is a crab pot that's, don't know, maybe it got destroyed while it's down here, or a fisherman just decided to plonk it over the side. But either way, it's now a home for something. Here's another ball of lost pots, so maybe it was a whole truce that someone's lost. These are all tangled up. These shapes are called inkwells, and they're typically used for spider crab, opposed to the long ones, the ones that look like a D, which are parlours. Jen's found a long-legged spider crab here, holding on for his dear life. Got a load more of these small fish. Still don't know what they're called. Pretty cool though. Here we have a scallop with his mouth open. See the back edge there? That's how they breathe. Sock in there and blow. That was blowing water back out. Another camo crab and a dragonet. Quite cool, these little fish. They don't grow much bigger than that, maybe another 3 inches longer. That scallop has started growing seaweed off its back. Too small. This is more like it, this is decent size. This is probably the biggest spiny starfish I've ever seen. Each leg's probably about 12 inches long. Scallops are really well hidden around here, but they're a bit too small, so they've got to go back. There's another lost inkwell. There's no rope attached to it, so it's definitely lost. You can see this one is well camouflaged. Here's a bottle with a tampot blenny in. What I was kind of hoping is we'll be able to have a look inside the bottle and try and see its eggs. I realised the sand, there's too much sand in there, so I'll put it back. Another of my least favourite crabs, the velvet crab, or the velvet swimming crab, or the devil crab, fighter crab, or lady crab. Yeah. Here we have a red Gurnard. You can tell it's a red Gurnard, not just by its colour. It hasn't got the black spot on its dorsal fin. You can see its little pectoral fins of 3 of them are separate, which they use as little fingers or to walk. Oh, scallop, I think I have that. So they use them to see if there's any small fish in the sand or invertebrates in the sand. Use them as sensory organs. They don't grow very big, these. I think they're the smallest of the Gurnards, about 400 long or 16 inches. But just check its camo. So what it's done is it knows I'm following it now, so he's slowly walking away. He's trying to keep his camouflage pretty low key. As he realises I'm not going anywhere, he puts his dorsal fin up, which has got spikes on, so any fish that went to bite it, it'd actually hurt it. So now he's like, I think I better swim away. So he's making himself look big or scary from behind with the blue little spots, a bit like the Top Gurnard does. But just check out the colour. Oh, there's another one. Didn't even see that one. Can't really find any reference to these fish changing colour, so I don't know if it's a well-known fact or not, but look, dark and then light. In my own experience, it's not the only fish that does that. I've seen that the red mullet does it. If you go back to have a look at my Brighton dive a couple of weeks ago, you can see the red mullet changes colour as well as it swims off. That's too small, gotta put that back. So the tide's pushing us north now, and as it's pushing us north, it's pushing me up a little sandbank, so you notice the seabed starting to change in texture and colour. Still some scallops here, which is good, but we're only in 15 metres of water now. Some more rope, some more discarded fishing gear, and you can see these little holes here where you can see shingle. Something's been digging here, I'm not sure what it was, but it's unearthed a shell. I can tell what that is straight away. That's an old ormer shell, and it looks like it's died of old age. Very brittle shell. Not common really to see it in 15 metres of water, but there seems to be a few around here on the seabed. This is what they normally look like. It's illegal to dive for them. You can only collect them at certain times of the year, in the first 4 months of the year, and there's set tides for it. So it's shore gathering only, and it's a really good Guernsey tradition. So even though I'm allergic to them, I still go with my kids just to pass on my knowledge to them. Some very small mackerel. So this is a load more fishing gear that looks like it's been abandoned or lost. There's another Ormer shell. Like I say, it's not really common to see these, and another one. One thing to look at on these shells, you can't really see it under the water, but it's got lovely mother of pearl colorations inside the shell. So now I've got to the end of the truce. You can see all the ropes all tangled up on the seabed. It's an RSJ as a calic. Calyx just helps it, weighs the end down. But look, the rope goes to the surface, so that's actually someone's pot. It's just they haven't managed to get out and pull them. Just waiting until Richard comes and picks me up with the boat.
Richard, back to the jeep. 1 sec. And then we can go home. One sec, Capitano.
Understood.
Pull ahead, backwards.
So that was 2 scallop dives. Didn't really see much. The first one was a very reefy dive. We knew we wasn't going to get anything on that because you don't get the scallops on the reef. But we give it a go anyway. Some nice bit of footage. I do like them, the rockfish that are like dark orange with the little white spots. Almost look like a strawberry anemone sort of colour. It's cool. Just waiting for Richard to come back up now. See the Gurnards changing colour. Those are pretty cool. So, almost day done. We've had, I don't know, 500 scallops I suppose. 4 crates. It's all good. Keeps Richard happy, pays for the fuel. We get to come out and do diving whenever we want with him. So we get to take whatever we want as well. He just says, take whatever you want and leave the rest on the boat and he'll sort it out. It's a good deal. Very good deal. Thanks for joining us, and I'll catch you on the next tide.